People often confuse attraction with love, but they are not the same thing. Attraction can happen in a moment. Love takes time. Attraction notices how someone looks. Love notices how someone feels. That's the difference that changes everything. When a man truly loves a woman, his actions begin to reflect something much deeper than excitement or passion. He wants her to feel valued, respected, understood, and emotionally secure. Those are the signs that reveal the heart behind his feelings. A lot of people spend their time looking for big romantic gestures because they think that's what real love looks like. They wait for expensive gifts, dramatic speeches, or grand surprises. But real love often shows itself in the smallest moments. It's in the way someone listens when you're talking. It's in the way they remember the little details that matter to you. It's in the way they notice when something is bothering you, even when you haven't said a word. Those moments cannot be faked for very long because they come from genuine care. Real love also creates emotional safety. When someone truly loves you, you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You don't have to hide your fears or your weaknesses. You can be honest about your struggles because you know you're not going to be judged. That kind of acceptance is rare, and it's one of the greatest gifts a healthy relationship can offer. Love isn't about finding a perfect person. It's about finding someone who accepts your imperfections while encouraging you to become the best version of yourself. Another thing people need to understand is that real love requires consistency. Anyone can make promises when emotions are high. Anyone can say beautiful words when they're trying to impress you. But consistency is what separates real love from temporary excitement. A man who genuinely cares will continue showing respect, kindness, and commitment long after the honeymoon phase has passed. His actions will match his words because his character doesn't change with his mood. Love also means choosing each other during difficult seasons. Every relationship faces challenges. There will be disagreements, stressful days, and moments when life becomes overwhelming. Real love doesn't disappear when problems arrive. Instead, it looks for solutions. It chooses communication over silence, understanding over pride, and forgiveness over resentment. That's how strong relationships survive the tests that life brings. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that love should always be easy. The truth is that love requires effort from both people. It requires patience when emotions are running high. It requires humility when you've made a mistake. It requires courage to have honest conversations instead of avoiding uncomfortable truths. Those choices strengthen the relationship because they show that both people value each other more than winning an argument. At the end of the day, real love isn't measured by how loudly someone says, "I love you." It's measured by how consistently they make you feel respected, appreciated, protected, and valued. Words can inspire hope, but actions build trust. When someone's heart is genuine, you won't have to constantly question where you stand. Their everyday behavior will answer that question better than any speech ever could. That's what separates real love from temporary emotion, and that's the kind of love worth waiting for. One of the clearest signs of genuine love is the way a man makes a woman feel emotionally and mentally safe. Anyone can be charming when everything is going well, but real character is revealed in the way someone treats you when life becomes difficult. A man who truly loves you doesn't want you to live with constant anxiety about where you stand in his life. He understands that trust is earned through consistency, honesty, and respect. Instead of creating confusion, he brings clarity. Instead of making you question your worth, he reminds you through his actions that you matter. Respect is one of the strongest foundations of lasting love. Without respect, even the strongest attraction will eventually fade. A man who genuinely loves you listens when you speak because he values your thoughts and opinions. He doesn't interrupt just to prove he's right, and he doesn't dismiss your feelings simply because they are different from his own. He recognizes that every healthy relationship is built on two voices being heard, not one person controlling the conversation. That kind of respect creates an environment where both people feel appreciated instead of ignored. Real love also pays attention to comfort. That doesn't mean life will always be easy or that there will never be disagreements. It means he cares about your emotional well-being. He notices when you're overwhelmed. He asks what's wrong instead of assuming everything is fine. He becomes someone you can lean on instead of another burden you have to carry. When someone truly loves you, your peace becomes important to them because your happiness matters. Communication becomes different when love is real. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations, a loving man is willing to face them with maturity. He knows silence doesn't solve problems. He understands that ignoring issues only allows them to grow. Even when the conversation is uncomfortable, he chooses honesty because he values the relationship more than temporary comfort. He doesn't communicate to win arguments. He communicates to strengthen understanding. Another important sign of genuine love is patience. Everyone has flaws. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments when stress or fear affects their behavior. A man who truly cares doesn't expect perfection. Instead, he offers patience while encouraging growth. He understands that healthy relationships are built by two imperfect people who continue choosing each other despite their imperfections. Patience doesn't mean accepting disrespect or unhealthy behavior. It means allowing room for learning, healing, and becoming better together. Real love is also protective without being controlling. There is a difference between caring for someone and trying to control every part of their life. A loving man wants you to feel secure, not trapped. He encourages your dreams instead of limiting them. He celebrates your success instead of competing with it. He understands that your independence doesn't threaten the relationship. Instead, it strengthens it because two confident people can build something much stronger than two insecure people constantly seeking validation. One thing many people overlook is consistency. Grand romantic gestures are memorable, but everyday kindness is what keeps love alive. The small messages asking if you've eaten, remembering important dates, checking on you after a difficult day, encouraging you before an important meeting, and showing appreciation without expecting something in return are often the strongest expressions of love. These daily actions quietly build trust over time. When a man's love is genuine, he also takes responsibility for his mistakes. Pride often destroys relationships because it refuses to admit when it's wrong. A mature man understands that apologizing doesn't make him weak. It shows emotional strength and respect for the person he loves. He doesn't blame everyone else for his actions or expect you to carry the weight of every disagreement. Instead, he accepts responsibility, learns from his mistakes, and works to become a better partner. At the heart of every lasting relationship is the desire to make the other person feel valued. Real love isn't about impressing someone for a few weeks. It's about consistently creating an environment where trust grows, respect deepens, and both people feel supported through every season of life. Those qualities are what transform attraction into a relationship that can stand the test of time. Real love is revealed in the way two people communicate, understand each other, and continue choosing one another every single day. Anyone can enjoy the exciting beginning of a relationship when everything feels new and effortless. But genuine love becomes visible when life brings responsibilities, stress, misunderstandings, and unexpected challenges. A man whose feelings are sincere doesn't avoid meaningful conversations. He understands that communication is not simply about talking. It is about listening with the intention of understanding rather than responding. He wants to know what makes you happy, what worries you, what inspires you, and what you dream about because your inner world matters to him just as much as your outward appearance. One of the greatest gifts a loving partner can offer is the ability to make you feel heard. Many people listen only long enough to prepare their next answer, but real love listens with patience and empathy. When you speak about your fears, frustrations, or hopes, he doesn't immediately dismiss your feelings or tell you that you're overreacting. Instead, he takes the time to understand why you feel the way you do. Even if he doesn't completely agree with every emotion, he respects the fact that your feelings are real. That level of emotional maturity creates trust because it reminds you that your voice has value. Mutual understanding doesn't happen by accident. It grows through honesty, consistency, and a willingness to learn about each other over time. A man who truly loves you pays attention to the little details that many people overlook. He remembers the things that make you smile, the challenges you've overcome, and the goals you're working toward. These aren't just random facts stored in his memory. They are reminders that he genuinely cares about your life. When someone remembers the little things, it often reflects the depth of their attention and affection. Respect is another essential part of meaningful communication. Healthy relationships aren't built on fear or control. They are built on mutual respect, where both people can express themselves without feeling attacked or belittled. Disagreements are inevitable because no two individuals think exactly alike. However, the way a couple handles those disagreements often determines the strength of the relationship. A loving man doesn't use insults, manipulation, or silence as weapons. He understands that hurting the person he loves will never solve a problem. Instead, he focuses on finding solutions that strengthen the relationship rather than damaging it. Trust also grows through open communication. When a relationship is filled with honesty, there is less room for unnecessary doubt and confusion. A man whose love is real doesn't enjoy making you question where you stand. He understands that mixed signals create insecurity, while clear communication creates confidence. His words and actions support one another, allowing trust to develop naturally over time. That consistency becomes one of the strongest foundations of a lasting relationship. Another sign of genuine love is the willingness to grow together. No one enters a relationship already knowing everything about being a perfect partner. Every relationship becomes a classroom where both people continue learning. A loving man accepts feedback without becoming defensive. He understands that personal growth is not criticism, but an opportunity to become better. Instead of viewing every difficult conversation as an attack, he sees it as a chance to strengthen the bond you share. That mindset transforms ordinary conversations into opportunities for deeper connection. Real love also creates emotional security. You shouldn't have to constantly wonder whether you're enough or whether your partner truly cares. Genuine affection brings reassurance through everyday actions, thoughtful conversations, and dependable behavior. It allows both people to relax into the relationship instead of constantly feeling the need to compete for attention or affection. When emotional security exists, love becomes a place of peace rather than uncertainty, allowing both individuals to build a future together with confidence, mutual respect, and unwavering trust. Patience, kindness, and being fully present are qualities that separate temporary attraction from genuine love. Anyone can be affectionate when life is easy and everything is going according to plan. But real love reveals itself in the ordinary moments that most people overlook. It shows up when schedules become busy, when responsibilities increase, when stress starts to weigh heavily, and when unexpected challenges test the strength of a relationship. A man whose feelings are sincere doesn't disappear when life becomes complicated. Instead, he chooses to remain present, offering his attention, encouragement, and understanding even when circumstances are less than perfect. One of the greatest expressions of love is patience. Patience is more than simply waiting. It is choosing understanding instead of frustration. Every person has flaws, insecurities, and moments of weakness. No one handles every situation perfectly. A loving partner understands this reality and doesn't expect perfection from the person he cares about. Instead of criticizing every mistake, he recognizes that growth takes time. He supports improvement without making someone feel ashamed for not having everything figured out. That patience allows a relationship to become a safe place where both people can continue learning and becoming better versions of themselves. Kindness is another powerful sign of genuine love. Kindness isn't reserved for birthdays, anniversaries, or special occasions. It appears in everyday interactions. It's reflecting the tone of someone's voice, the words they choose, and the respect they show even during disagreements. A man who truly loves you understands that words have lasting power. He doesn't intentionally use harsh language simply because he's angry. He knows that while problems can eventually be solved, painful words often remain in someone's heart for much longer. Because of that, he chooses compassion even when emotions are running high. Being fully present has become increasingly rare in today's world. Many people are physically together but mentally somewhere else, distracted by work, social media, or endless responsibilities. Genuine love requires attention. A man who sincerely values his relationship makes time to be present. When you're speaking, he listens instead of constantly looking at his phone. When you're sharing your dreams, he encourages you instead of dismissing them. When you're facing difficulties, he doesn't simply offer quick advice and move on. He stays engaged because your experiences matter to him. Presence also means celebrating life's small victories together. Many relationships focus only on solving problems, forgetting to enjoy the moments of happiness along the way. A loving partner notices your achievements no matter how small they may seem to others. He celebrates your progress because your success brings him joy. Instead of feeling threatened by your accomplishments, he becomes one of your biggest supporters. That encouragement strengthens confidence and reminds you that you're building a partnership rather than competing against each other. Real love is demonstrated through consistency rather than occasional grand gestures. Expensive gifts and dramatic surprises can create memorable moments, but they cannot replace everyday reliability. A man who genuinely cares consistently checks in on you, keeps his promises whenever possible, and follows through on his commitments. He understands that trust isn't built by impressive speeches. It's built by repeatedly showing that his words can be believed. Every act of consistency becomes another brick in the foundation of a strong relationship. Kindness also appears through forgiveness. Every couple experiences misunderstandings because no two people communicate perfectly all the time. A loving man doesn't keep score of every mistake or constantly bring up past failures during new disagreements. He understands that healthy relationships cannot grow if both people remain trapped in yesterday's disappointments. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring serious issues or accepting repeated disrespect. It means choosing healing over resentment whenever genuine accountability and change are present. Being fully present also means paying attention to emotional needs that aren't always spoken aloud. Sometimes the people we love don't ask for help because they don't want to become a burden. A caring partner notices these moments. He recognizes changes in mood, energy, or behavior and gently asks if everything is okay. He doesn't assume that silence means everything is fine. Instead, he creates opportunities for honest conversation without pressure or judgment. That emotional awareness makes someone feel deeply valued because it shows they are truly seen. Patience, kindness, and presence are not dramatic qualities that attract attention from the outside world, but they are the qualities that keep love alive over the years. They transform ordinary conversations into meaningful connections, difficult moments into opportunities for growth, and everyday life into something worth sharing. When these qualities become part of a relationship, both people feel respected, appreciated, supported, and secure. They know they are loved not because of occasional romantic moments, but because of the steady, dependable way they are treated every single day. And that is the kind of love that continues growing stronger with time instead of fading when the excitement of the beginning is over. One of the strongest signs that a man's love is genuine is that he cares about your happiness in every part of the relationship, not only during the exciting or romantic moments. Real love is never limited to a single experience or a temporary emotion. It is reflected in the way he treats you every day, in the respect he shows, the encouragement he offers, and the consistency of his actions. Anyone can make someone feel special for a few hours, but it takes real character to make someone feel valued week after week, month after month, and year after year. That is where true love begins to separate itself from simple attraction. A man whose feelings are sincere wants to know what brings peace into your life. He pays attention to the things that make you smile and the things that cause you stress. He notices when you're carrying too much on your shoulders, and he looks for ways to lighten the load instead of adding to it. Sometimes that means offering advice, and sometimes it simply means sitting beside you and listening without trying to fix everything. He understands that being emotionally available is one of the greatest gifts he can give to the woman he loves. Real love is generous with encouragement. Life is filled with moments when confidence begins to fade, dreams seem impossible, or disappointments make you question yourself. During those times, a loving partner becomes a source of strength instead of criticism. He reminds you of your abilities when you've forgotten them yourself. He celebrates your progress, even if it's small, because he understands that lasting success is built one step at a time. Your victories never threaten him because your happiness becomes part of his happiness. Another beautiful quality of genuine love is thoughtfulness. A caring man doesn't wait for holidays or anniversaries to show appreciation. He understands that meaningful relationships are built through small, consistent acts of kindness. He remembers important conversations, asks how your day went, checks on you when you're facing challenges, and notices the little details that other people overlook. These simple actions may seem ordinary, but together they create a powerful message that says, "You matter to me." Over time, those quiet moments become more valuable than grand gestures because they demonstrate continuous care. Love also means creating an atmosphere where both people feel accepted. Nobody wants to feel like they must earn affection by being perfect. We all have flaws, insecurities, and moments when we fall short of our own expectations. A man whose love is real doesn't constantly point out your weaknesses or compare you to someone else. Instead, he encourages growth while accepting you as a human being. He believes in your potential without making you feel that you're never enough. That balance of acceptance and encouragement allows trust to grow naturally. One of the greatest tests of love is how someone behaves during difficult seasons. It's easy to be positive when everything is going according to plan. It's much harder when financial pressures appear, responsibilities increase, or unexpected problems arise. A loving partner doesn't disappear the moment life becomes uncomfortable. He remains committed to working through challenges together. He understands that relationships are not built by avoiding storms, but by learning how to face them side by side. That willingness to stay present during hard times creates a bond that becomes stronger with every obstacle overcome. Respect remains at the center of genuine love. Respect means valuing your opinions even when they differ from his. It means speaking with kindness instead of anger, listening instead of interrupting, and choosing understanding over pride. A respectful man never feels the need to embarrass you, control you, or make you feel less important. Instead, he creates an environment where both people feel equally valued. Healthy love is not about power, it is about partnership. Trust also grows through everyday consistency. A man who truly loves you doesn't leave you constantly wondering how it feels. His actions match his words. He keeps promises whenever possible, communicates honestly, and accepts responsibility when he makes mistakes. This consistency creates emotional security because you no longer have to guess where you stand. You know that his care is dependable rather than temporary. Real love inspires growth in both people. It encourages healthier habits, stronger communication, greater patience, and deeper understanding. Instead of holding each other back, both partners become motivated to improve themselves because they want to contribute something positive to the relationship. Love becomes a source of inspiration rather than limitation. It challenges both individuals to become kinder, wiser, and more emotionally mature. At the heart of every lasting relationship is a simple truth. Genuine love is demonstrated through daily choices. It is choosing respect over pride, patience over frustration, honesty over confusion, and encouragement over criticism. Those choices may seem small on their own, but repeated over time, they build a relationship filled with trust, peace, and lasting happiness. That is the kind of love that endures because it is rooted not only in feelings, but also in consistent actions that prove day after day that the relationship truly matters. At the end of the day, the greatest evidence of real love is never found in a single romantic moment. It is found in the way a man lives every day once the excitement settles and real life begins. Feelings can be intense for a season, but commitment is what keeps love alive. Anyone can make promises when emotions are high, but a man whose love is genuine understands that every day presents a new opportunity to prove those promises through his actions. He knows that lasting relationships are not built by words alone. They are built by trust, respect, honesty, consistency, and the willingness to choose each other again and again. Many people spend too much time trying to decode someone's feelings while ignoring their behavior. The truth is that actions will always tell a clearer story than emotions expressed only through words. A man who truly loves you doesn't leave you constantly questioning where you stand. He doesn't make you chase after basic respect or wonder whether you're important in his life. His consistency provides answers that speeches never could. He shows up when he says he will. He follows through on his commitments. He makes an effort because he understands that love without action eventually becomes empty. One of the strongest qualities of genuine love is reliability. Life is unpredictable, and every relationship experiences unexpected challenges. There will be moments of disappointment, stressful seasons, financial pressures, family responsibilities, and personal struggles. During those moments, a loving man doesn't disappear simply because things become difficult. He remains dependable. He becomes someone you can count on rather than someone who adds uncertainty to your life. Reliability creates security, and security allows love to grow without constant fear. Real love also respects individuality. A healthy relationship doesn't require either person to lose their identity. Instead, both individuals continue growing while supporting each other's dreams and ambitions. A man whose feelings are sincere doesn't become jealous every time you succeed. He celebrates your accomplishments because your victories bring him happiness. He encourages your personal growth because he understands that strong relationships are built by two healthy individuals who inspire one another instead of competing with one another. Another important sign of authentic love is accountability. Every person makes mistakes. No relationship exists without misunderstandings. The difference lies in how those mistakes are handled. A mature man accepts responsibility when he's wrong. He doesn't constantly make excuses or shift blame onto someone else. He understands that admitting mistakes doesn't make him weak. It demonstrates strength, humility, and respect for the relationship. Apologies become meaningful because they are followed by genuine effort to improve rather than repeated empty promises. Love also creates emotional peace instead of emotional confusion. While no relationship is perfect, genuine love doesn't depend on endless games, manipulation, or mixed signals. A caring man communicates honestly because he values clarity over unnecessary drama. He doesn't enjoy keeping someone uncertain about his intentions. Instead, he creates confidence through openness, respect, and dependable behavior. That emotional stability becomes one of the greatest blessings in any lasting relationship because both people are free to focus on building a future together rather than constantly questioning each other's commitment. Gratitude is another characteristic that often goes unnoticed. A man whose love is real never takes the relationship for granted. He appreciates the effort, loyalty, kindness, and support his partner brings into his life. He doesn't assume those things will always be there without care and attention. Instead, he expresses appreciation through words and actions. Simple expressions of gratitude, thoughtful gestures, and sincere acknowledgement remind his partner that she is valued rather than overlooked. Appreciation keeps love alive because people naturally flourish where they feel seen and respected. Real love also inspires personal growth. Instead of encouraging unhealthy habits or selfish behavior, it motivates both people to become better versions of themselves. A loving relationship encourages honesty, patience, forgiveness, responsibility, and emotional maturity. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to grow stronger together rather than drift further apart. Both partners begin to recognize that lasting happiness isn't created by perfection, but by continuous effort and mutual support. Perhaps the most beautiful truth about genuine love is that it remains steady even after the excitement of the beginning fades. Physical attraction may introduce two people to each other, but character determines whether they remain together. The strongest relationships are built by ordinary people making extraordinary choices every day. They choose kindness instead of harshness, understanding instead of judgment, loyalty instead of convenience, and forgiveness instead of resentment. These choices are rarely dramatic, but they create a foundation that can withstand the pressures of time. When a man's love is genuine, you don't have to search endlessly for proof because his everyday behavior becomes the evidence. His respect, consistency, honesty, encouragement, patience, and commitment speak louder than impressive speeches or temporary emotions ever could. Real love isn't measured by a single moment of romance. It's measured by countless ordinary moments where someone repeatedly chooses to protect the relationship, honor the person they love, and build a future based on trust, mutual respect, and unwavering commitment. Those daily decisions are what transform attraction into a love that continues growing stronger with every passing year.